Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yo, I don't care how you get the message. Just make sure you receive it. What's going on, YouTube? Did you miss me? It's your guy, Mr. DCYLP. Yo, what's poppin' though? Y'all heard what I said. I don't care how you get the message as long as you receive it. All right, now y'all know I always say the message is always in the cloth, man. Y'all know my slogans. You've been here for a minute. Now check this out. Now today we gonna go over some a few things. I got a lot of respect, for the Earn Your Leisure podcast. So not too long ago, I reposted on my IG, one of their clips from, one of their recent interviews, with this young brother named Darrel Alston out of Philadelphia. He got his own high fashion shoe line. All right. Now, before I get into that, y'all make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification so you don't never miss nothing. And if you want some exclusive videos with information, y'all make sure y'all hit my Patreon. All right. Now let's get back into this joint. Yeah, so like I said, not too long ago, I reposted, one of the Earn Your Leisure clips that they had up on IG. You probably can't see it now because I deleted all my stuff off my IG. Now don't get alarmed, people. Don't get alarmed. Every now and then I do that, like every year or so. I do that just to clean house. Start fresh. I don't want to see the old. I don't want to keep seeing the old nonsense that I posted in the past up there. You know what I'm saying? I want to start fresh. And I'm about to start dropping some new fresh shit. So I want my page to be fresh. Now, getting back into this interview. All right, so like I was saying, the designer's name is Darrel Alston. Now, I know I'm not in the shoe game at all, but I think that this 1 hour video has so many gems in it. And I really, really, really want y'all to go make sure y'all check that video out. But in this video, I'm going to take 3 clips from the actual Earn Your Leisure interview and just go over what I thought about it, and just take it from there, man. Y'all leave in the comments, if y'all up on Earn Your Leisure already, what I'm saying, leave in the comments, let me know if you like that podcast or not. They talk a lot about entrepreneurship and business, so on and so forth. But in this one, the name of Darrel's brand is called Bungie Ablancini. It might sound a little hard to say, but I'm gonna show you the clip of him breaking down how he came up with the name. All right. I'm also gonna show a clip of him talking about how he actually started the brand and actually came up with the idea. And last but not least, man, I'm gonna show you a clip of him, breaking down, what he had to do, like, to overcome his fears. Because as you guys gonna see, if you watch the entire video on Earn Your Leisure's channel, this dude is actually a convicted felon. All right, so it wasn't much out there for him. All right, but I'm gonna stop rambling and I'm gonna get into some of these clips. Let's get it. Here we go.
So Bungie, to me, represents all the ups and downs of my life. And I knew that other people were going through ups and downs as well. Mm-hmm. It wasn't just me. So I felt like Bungie fit everyone. And then I came up with applicheni because it's a synonym of apparel. I went to a trade show. I had actually had a table at a trade show, and when I got there, everyone, it was either apparel or wardrobe or something like that. And I was like, I got to come up with something a little bit more creative. It was the rapper in me. It was like, nah, I'm not going for that. So I ended up, Google searching synonyms for apparel, and I couldn't find anything. And I started searching other languages, and then the applicheni just stuck out. And then I had to figure out how to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought it was Aplicini, but I just knew that the wording just looked good together.
Yeah.
You know, so I ended up searching how to say it, and Aplicini it is.
So in that first clip, y'all peep how he said he came up with the name, and I told y'all like when it comes to coming up with a name, you always want to try to like make it relatable. Don't name your brand something wild and crazy. Make it make sense at the end of the day. You seen you heard how he said where he got the bungee from, and then he said how he got the Albantini, via a Google search or what have you. All right, now like y'all heard what the man said, y'all, and in older videos I touched on that before, pretty much how I came up with my names, and I always would say like, yo, Google is your friend, man. Like this shit is a tool, it's there for you to utilize. So make sure y'all utilize that tool, man, and just try to come up with something that's gonna stand the test of time, man. That bungee, you heard my man said bungee. That was him going the ups and downs in his lives, and he made it relatable to other people that he figured, had the highs and the lows in their lives as well. All right, so let's check out this next clip.
I ended up having a conversation with my mom, and she's like, listen, I don't know what you're going to do with yourself, but right now they're doing background checks for people that, that are trying to get jobs for when you're trying to move into a place. Whatever it is that you got to do, there's a background a check attached to that. And she was like, the only way you're going to be able to survive out here is if you create your own business. So at that point, I just went back to the cell, man. I prayed for the first time. I never really was a religious dude or nothing like that. I prayed, and I was like, I don't know where I should go with my life, but I just need some sort of guidance. And I just left it at that. And then like 2 hours later, I wake up, something told me to sketch. I sketched a pair of sneakers, and it looked like I took the sneaker and placed it on the shoe. That's how good it was. I never sketched before in my life. So once I seen that, I'm like, damn, maybe I can just make a living sketching, sneakers. I didn't think about a sneaker brand at that time. I was just focused on sketching sneakers. And I kept showing all the different, walkies and sellies and stuff like that. And they're like, yo, like, you need to think about doing your own brand. So then I ended up creating my own sneaker. And then, I just started asking people their opinion. Like, what you think about this? What you think if I added that? What if I take it off this?
In jail.
Yeah.
So now peep game. In the second clip, he pretty much touched on, him having the casual conversations with Mon Dukes. And it's like, yo, came to realization at that point, like he was pretty much like he hit rock bottom. Like he ain't have like many other options as far as like, what he was going to do as far as like housing and stuff like that, because eventually, when these background checks, come out, if him trying to get some type of employment or whatever, it's like slim pickings out there. You know what I'm saying? Now it's sounding like this is in like the early, mid to late 2000s or what have you, because he as you guys gonna see, he's gonna start mentioning something about him being in a halfway house in like 2015, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I don't remember the employment rate or excuse me when it comes to like felons and stuff like that, getting jobs and housing, blah 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 blah. I don't know. I'm not a convicted felon, so I couldn't tell you anything about that. But I'm sure it was a struggle during those times, trying to find a job or whatnot. So his mom was just putting him on, and he said he's not into religion and stuff like that, but he prayed and he came up with it. I'm saying, and he got hit with a sign, and he just woke up one day and started sketching and took it from there. But now peep how he said, he was asking, other inmates, about, for like their opinions and stuff like that. He was taking all that feedback in and, honing it. And, that was very, very beneficial to his brand. And I touched on that in the past too when I started my brand, as far as clothing. Um, my first designs, I told y'all, I gave them shits away for free to friends and family, just to see, how they was gonna feel about it. Now, don't get me wrong, like, just like Darrel will mention, like in the beginning, shit was rough. Like his designs was kind of whack. Like me too, I tell you that. You go back and look, like my designs they was buns. They was buns when I first started. But now we here now. All right, enough about me. Back to Darrel.
When do you actually launch the company?
I came home from prison, and I come home to a new world. Facebook, Instagram. I never heard of any of it when I was in
When
prison.
you what
Yeah, what's the time period?
you said
I
7
came
years
home.
ago?
I came home the end of when was it? I got to the halfway house. I want to say in like 2015, something like that.
Okay.
So it's like I had no idea any of this stuff was even going on.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm
Instagram is
saying?
here,
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, all that's here.
And I had to figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember like the very first time I was going to post a picture, I felt like a nut because it was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, where I come from, you don't put your business out there like that. And I'm seeing people like, hey, I'm over here, I'm doing this. And I just couldn't relate to that. So like the very first picture, I'm like, I was over there. People think that I was over there, but I'm really over here. As I took that picture over there and I posted it later.
Yeah.
So like I did that for a while, like, because I just couldn't get used to telling people what I was doing. And then it was just like, once I ended up getting to that point where I kind of got used to the Facebook and all. And I still to this day have never used Twitter before either. I never used Twitter or TikTok. I just can't get to that point yet. Anyway, to get to the point, I ended up launching. I want to say, or I didn't even launch. I bought samples for like the first 3 years. I didn't have enough money to be able to even get an order in. You know what I mean? I just didn't have the money, and I didn't want to go back to selling drugs again because I didn't want to go back to jail. So for the first 3 years of me being home, I was just getting samples and changing the name and going back and forth with different ideas. And then, finally that one day, that guy came in the barbershop and he was like, yo, do you have, his name was Ernest, by the way, I won't call him that guy. Ernest comes in the barbershop and he's like, yo, like, do you have these in the size such and such? And I was like, nah. And he's like, well, what do I need to do to be able to get them in this size? And I was like, I need like 10 grand to be able to get it going.
Yeah.
And he was just like, you got a business plan? I was like, yeah. He was like, meet me at Starbucks tomorrow. So I was like, all right, bet. So I ended up meeting him at Starbucks. And I remember it like yesterday. He was reading this, and I remember my heart was pounding. I'm like, this could be my opportunity right here, right? Because I knew that all I needed was like 10 grand. So he's reading the business plan. He gets to like the first 2 pages. He's like, I'm gonna give you 14,000. I'm like, all right, can you finish reading the business plan? So he ended up going another couple of pages. He's like, I'm gonna give you 20,000. So I'm like, all right, but finish reading the business plan. So he gets all the way to the end of the business plan and he says, I'm gonna give you 50,000. And he was like, meet me at the bank tomorrow. I'm gonna show you how to get the EIN number and all that. Cause he asked me if I knew how, and I was like, nah. And he ended up taking me to the bank and he put the money in there within 2 days of that meeting. And that's how I got my start.
All right, now, boom. Yo, shit getting real. Shout out to Darrel, man. Anyways, before this video ends, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit that bell notification, like I said, so you don't ever miss nothing. So, man, yeah, let's dive into it, man. That last clip, man. Hey, I want y'all, like I said, I'm only gonna show y'all these 3 clips. I want y'all to go take the time, take the hour, sit down, watch the whole video. Like I said, it's on Earn Your Leisure podcast. You can find them on YouTube or you can find them on IG. But man, yeah. So you heard what he said as far as him, starting off with like samples and stuff like that. And I know where he was getting his samples made at, produced, manufactured at. Go watch the video. Go watch the whole video. It's gonna break that down too. And like I said, you guys heard me say this countless amounts of times of where you can get manufacturers to make your products. He got a shoe manufacturer or clothes or whatever. He doesn't only sell shoes though, folks. He does have garments as well. He sells sweatshirts, t-shirts, and stuff like that. So he pretty much took his shoe designs and ideas, and now he's like a whole conglomerate. Now got his own business. He got a team of designers, so on and so forth. But you guys will hear that once you watch the video. But look, he was, as you saw in the clip, he was in the right place at the right time. He was in the barber shop constantly every day, talking to people. And he bumped into this one guy, who believed in him. He presented him with, his business plan, and he told him how much money he needed. And homie blessed him, man. Got his business started for him and everything, man. Yo, you gotta take chances, man. You gotta take chances on yourself. Always bet on yourself. I told you guys this shit in the past too. Like, if you feel like you can't do it alone, get a partner. If you feel like you can't design, find somebody that could design for you. Meet some people, man. Start talking. And I could relate to Darrel when he was saying that, when he got out of jail, like this whole new social media thing was, all new to him. He didn't really understand it. The fact that people putting all their business out in the streets and just, telling everybody like what they doing and so on and so forth. Because to tell you the truth, when I first started my brand, Direction Choose Your Own Path, I felt the same way. You know what I'm saying? Because, my lady, she was on social media at first, and then, she had came to me one day. She was like, yo, you got to get on social media. I'm like, nah, man, I don't do that shit, man. I ain't put my business out in the street like that. Nah. She's like, all right, I'm telling you, you don't get on social media, you ain't going to sell nothing. It's going to be hard to sell stuff. Yo, and she was right. She was right. You know what I'm saying? Shit got real for me, and I felt like I was just wasting money. So, she created me a social media page. I started off on Facebook first, though. You know what I'm saying? So, and that pretty much, that changed everything. Just like Darrel, though. I only got IG and Facebook. I don't really rock. I don't have a TikTok account. I have a Twitter account. I don't use it as often as I used to. In the past, I feel like Twitter changed like a lot. It's crazy. It's like madness on there now. But like all like the gossip and shit like that. But anyways, I ain't gonna get into social media. But yeah, if you do want to sell some shit, y'all out there, you got to get yourself some type of social media account. All right. Hey, it's trying to come on in, baby. It's 2022. If you're trying to sell some clothes, if you're trying to sell anything, you got to have some type of website, social media, or something. You need an engine behind you, to move your product. All right, so that's pretty much it for this one, yo. I don't want to keep going on, and I don't want to get no copyright strikes on this video because, like I said, I only took the 3 clips from, the Earn Your Leisure podcast. It's pretty much their material. I'm just giving my insight on some of the things that, I felt, Darrel was on point with. And that's pretty much it, man, for this one. All right, I hope y'all working hard on y'all brands like I always say. And let's get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basically, pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.